Hi everyone and welcome. Thin layer of dough and rich thick layer of carrot. That's how my mom described her memories about the Latvian carrot sheet cake, which her grandma used to bake. My mom loves the cake, therefore we used to bake it in my childhood for holidays at home regularly.
For this carrot cake, we will use a lot of carrots, and the cake will be soft and creamy, similar to a pie. The first thing we need to do is cook all the carrots. I will put them in a big pot, add water to cover the carrots, half a teaspoon of salt, and leave the carrots to cook till they are soft. In the meanwhile, let's prepare the yeast dough for the base of the cake. You can also use some other dough for the cake. This is how we usually made the sheet cakes, Plātsmaizes at home. Made a big batch of yeast dough and used it for apple and cottage cheese sheet cake, as well as carrot sheet cake and mini bacon and apple pies. For the carrot cake, we need a thin layer of dough. Therefore, let's make a small amount of dough now. First, I am putting milk with sugar, butter and salt to warm up so that the butter melts. Before adding it to the yeast, I let the milk cool a little so that it's not hot. If it's fine to touch, it's fine to be added to the yeast. First, I will mix the yeast with a bit of milk and a few tablespoons of flour to activate it, and leave for about 10 minutes till it becomes bubbly and grows. In the meanwhile, I will check the carrots. The carrots are soft, so I can drain them and leave to cool so that I can peel them later. If you want, you can cook the carrots the day before. The yeast is active and foamy. Let's make the dough now. I'll sift flour in a big bowl. Add the remaining milk to it and the yeast, and mix everything to form consistent dough. The dough should not stick to your hands or the bowl. If it is too sticky, add another tablespoon of flour to it. I'll knead the dough for a few minutes on the kitchen countertop so that it is smooth and elastic. Shape it into a ball, put in a bowl, cover with a towel, and leave in a warm place for the dough to grow till it has doubled in size. It can take an hour or two depending on how warm your place is. I will put a piece of parchment paper in the baking tray so that it is easier to remove the cake when it's ready, and grease the baking tray and parchment paper with a bit of oil. The dough is ready. Let's dust the kitchen countertop with a bit of flour and roll the dough thin, approximately the size of the baking tray. I will fold the dough sides down as I want the dough to be only on the bottom of the cake. If you want, you can leave the dough sides up. And let's cover the baking tray with a towel and leave the dough to rise while we prepare the carrot filling. Let's set the oven to heat to 180 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit and peel all the carrots. We need to either grate or blend the carrots. I will blend the carrots so that the filling is smooth and there are no carrot pieces in it. Add the eggs in the blender with the carrots as well. Let's put the carrot puree in a big bowl and mix it with about 3/4 of the sugar, leaving a bit of sugar for later. Cinnamon or gingerbread spices and flour. I will add 1 teaspoon of spices now and leave the other for later to sprinkle on top of the cake. If you want, you can mix all the spices in the filling now. The cinnamon and gingerbread spices will darken the carrot filling a little. The carrot mixture is ready. Let's also mix the whipping cream with the remaining sugar, which we will use for the top of the cake. Let's pour the carrot mixture over the dough in the baking tray and level. Sprinkle the cinnamon on top and pour the whipping cream with sugar. I have a very generous layer of carrot filling for the cake, and the tray is full to the top. let's put it to bake for about half an hour till the top of the carrot cake looks set and has browned a little. If your tray is as full as mine, put another baking tray underneath it in the oven so that if anything spills while baking, it ends up in the other tray and not in the bottom of the oven. Let's remove the cake from the oven and let it cool a little before removing from the baking tray. Now comes the best part, cutting off the yummy sides of the sheet cake. Those are for the baker to taste and for the most impatient eaters. And we can see the thin layer of dough on the bottom and the thick layer of smooth carrot filling on top. The top is tasty with the cream and caramelized sugar. Thank you for joining me today and see you next week. Bye!